All right, welcome everybody. I'm just going to jump right into it. You've probably seen this before. If you spend 1 hour a day on LinkedIn, you'll get 6 new clients in 3 months. Sounds amazing, right? Easy, clean math. But let me ask you, how many of you have actually tried that? Posting a few times, commenting here and there, and then sending some DMs? And what happened? For most people, nothing. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what happened to me. If you don't know me, my name's Coach Lee. I'm a social connections coach. I've been running my business for 5 years. And I want to be honest, there was a point where I almost shut it all down. I was doing everything the gurus told me. Go to networking events, be helpful, build relationships, post valuable content every single day. And I did it faithfully. But what did I get? Crickets. No real leads, no traction. That's when I realized that this 1 hour a day advice was a myth. It sounds simple, but it doesn't work in reality. Because here's the truth: most connection requests go to people who aren't even active. Posts flop because you haven't built engagement first. And 5 DMs a week is a drop in the ocean. If 1 hour a day was really enough, my living room would look something like this instead of like this. I would have had a thriving business, but I didn't. But I couldn't give up. I dreamt of building a business. I dreamt of being successful. So I leaned into my strengths. And one of my strengths is pattern recognition. In a former life, I was an automation expert and data analyst. I know how to track numbers, test variables, and find what actually works. So for 2 years, I tracked every post, every comment, every click. I studied the big creators, I tested strategies, I looked for the patterns. And what I discovered turned into a system that gets me 2 to 3 warm leads on my calendar every single week. Imagine what that could look like for you. I'll share a link later so you can learn exactly how to make this work in your own business. And that's not just me talking. LinkedIn itself backs me up on this. They have a tool called the Social Selling Index that measures how effective you are at building your brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and growing relationships. It updates daily and it's free for everyone to check. Right now, I'm ranked in the top 2% of all sales professionals in the professional training and coaching industry. And I'm in the top 4% of my entire LinkedIn network of 9,000 connections. So when I tell you this system works, it's been tested, it's proven, it's measured by LinkedIn itself. That's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. So let's kick this off with something exciting. If you stay with me to the very end of this session, I'm going to give you a bonus that will wake up your LinkedIn network almost immediately. It's one simple type of post that LinkedIn actually promotes for you. You don't have to fight the algorithm. It does the heavy lifting. I've personally used it to spark dozens of conversations and connect with people that I hadn't heard from in months. And the best part, it works in any industry for any network, including yours. So stick around and I'll show you exactly what that's about. Now, before we dive into step one, I want to give you some perspective. What I'm teaching you today, these 5 points, you could absolutely take and run with on your own. I'm not hiding anything. But here's the reality. It took me 2 full years of trial and error to figure out how to make these pieces work together. You don't have to spend that kind of time and energy. What I've built is a proven system, a shortcut that shows you not just what to do, but how to apply it effectively so you'll get results without wasting months or even years piecing it all together by yourself. So here's what I learned after 2 years of testing. LinkedIn works, but not the way the gurus tell you. It's not about posting every day hoping people magically show up. That's exhausting, and that's why most people quit. Instead, it's about using a system that gets you seen by the right people, starts real conversations, and puts 2 to 3 warm leads on your calendar every single week. And the first step in this system is this: understanding what kind of content actually sparks conversations. Because let's be honest, most posts on LinkedIn, they just don't. So let's start with number one. Point number one: planning content that starts conversations. By the end of this section, you'll understand why posting alone doesn't work and the kinds of posts that actually spark replies instead of silence. Most people hate posting because it feels like you're shouting into a void. You stare at a blank screen, you agonize over what to say, you hit publish, and then nothing. Meanwhile, you see others blowing up and wondering what's wrong with you. That cycle kills momentum. And the truth is, it's not you, it is just the type of post you're putting out. So here's what doesn't work: advertisements. The buy my thing style post gets ignored. In fact, it gets suppressed because LinkedIn wants you to buy ads. Two, long walls of text with no spacing, no breathing room, instantly skipped. No one has the attention span for that. And three, unedited AI and corporate fluff. Sounds polished, nobody connects with it. Believe it or not, people want authenticity on their professional platform. So if you've been posting like this, no wonder it feels like a waste of time. So let's talk about what does work. These are the posts that start conversation. Ones that are easy to read, quotable text. They're short, punchy lines that people can skim. Portraits or full body photos. They show you in action with real expression. And polls. Polls are simple questions that people can answer in seconds. These three kinds of posts lower the barrier for someone to engage. And that is the whole game. At the end of this, I'll share one special kind of post that outperforms all the others. The one that I use to turn visibility directly into conversations. But for the meantime, your action step before you post again, you have to ask yourself 3 things. Is it easy to read? Is it easy to respond to? And is it easy to connect with? If you have all three, people will engage. If you don't post it. Now, here's the trap. Even if you create the kind of content that is easy to read, quotable, or interactive, it doesn't matter if the right people don't see it. And that's the next piece. Because most people think they can just search job titles, use Sales Navigator, or follow hashtag tags, and boom, they found their audience. But that's not how it works. So let's talk about where your ideal clients actually live on LinkedIn and how to find the ones who are active and ready to engage. Point two: finding where your ideal client really lives on LinkedIn. This is more than just a list of names, but the places your ideal client is active and ready to talk. Most people have tried this. They've used LinkedIn Navigator. They've searched job titles, industries, keywords. They followed hashtags. And guess what? Nothing happens. You get a giant list of profiles who never log in. You follow a hashtag and nothing shows up in your feed. You feel like you're talking into the void. That's because LinkedIn Navigator and hashtags don't measure activity. They show you who exists on LinkedIn, but they do not show you who is active on LinkedIn. And if they're not active, they will never see you. The real way to find your clients is simple. Number one, go where they're active, start commenting and reacting. Look at the posts they're already engaging with and start a conversation there. Think about it. The people who are commenting are the ones raising their hand saying, I'm here, I'm paying attention. And that's where your effort pays off. I know this works because I've done it myself. Two of my comments have gone viral because I found my ideal clients. I found where my ideal clients comment. I know this works because I've done it myself. Two of my comments went viral together and they pulled in over 40,000 impressions. And here's the key, it wasn't even on my own posts, it was under someone else's. This shift is huge. I wasn't chasing down my clients in Sales Navigator, I was showing up where they're already active. And it's not just those two. I have plenty of other comments that outperform the posts that I've actually spent hours writing. The power of commenting strategically is what gets you seen. You get in the conversations that are already happening. So here's what I'd like you to do. Stop wasting time on LinkedIn Navigator or hashtags. Instead, pick one person in your industry that your clients already follow. Make sure people are active there. Go to their most recent post. Drop a thoughtful comment on the post itself, and then comment on 3 people who have already engaged. This is going to raise your visibility. Most of the people who you have commented on will check out your profile. And a whole series of chain of events happen after people click on your profile. We can't get into it here, but it is in my program. But that's how you make sure the right people know you exist. Now, once you've found your people, the ones who are active, commenting, paying attention, the question becomes, how do you actually start talking to them without sounding like a pushy salesperson? Because that's where most advice goes wrong. They tell you, send a fluffy DM about some random comment and hope it turns into conversation. That goes nowhere. The next step is learning how to pitch in a way that feels natural, where you're providing real value, not just small talk. Point 3, pitching in a way that feels natural. I'm going to show you why fluffy DMs don't work and how to pitch in a way that actually provides value and moves the conversation forward. Most advice out there is wrong. You've probably heard the gurus say something like, find a random comment, DM someone and hope they'll respond. Hello, friend. Or pitch slap as many people as possible. It's a numbers game. Tell everyone to buy your product. That leaves you with no real way to provide value for your product prospects. And honestly, we all hate pitch slapping. It's one of the fastest ways to turn people off. If we did that to our best prospects, they'd run, maybe even block us. And we could see this in real time. Raise your hand if you've ever been pitch slapped. Yeah? Did you ever buy from them? No. No. No wonder why pitching feels gross, because those approaches have no direction. They aren't built on value. So you don't have to choose between wasting time on small talk or turning people off with a pitch slap. There's another way. You can share your services in a way that actually provides value for them. And that is what this framework is all about. It's a mindset shift. Pitching pitching is not about manipulating someone into a chat. It's about providing value up front. And the value is your service. There are 3 key components to a great pitch. 1, clarity. Know you're talking to the right person. It's a qualified lead. 2, confidence. Share the value that you bring without any fluff. 3, directness. Invite them into a conversation about that value. When you believe people want what you offer because you've already done the work to find the right people, the pitch is natural. It's not selling, it's service. Believe me, your clients want your service. And if you never offer it to them, they never get an opportunity. I used to send DMs saying, "Great to connect. Looking forward to learning more about you." Nothing ever happened. But when I shifted into being more clear and direct, saying something like, "I help ideal client solve X problem. I'd love to share one thing I've seen work really well. Want to talk about it?" The response was completely different, like this one right here. I pitched them. I was exactly what they were looking for, and they scheduled a call with me. I wasn't pushy. I just simply told them that I had a service and they needed it. People leaned in because it was clear, valuable, and direct. No fluff. Your action step. The next time you pitch, skip the small talk. Lead with the value that you provide and make it clear why the conversation is worth your time. Now, once you start pitching with confidence, here's what happens. People will respond. You'll start real conversations. But here's the danger. Not everyone who responds is actually worth your time. Some will be curious, some will be bored, and only a few will be serious. So, the next piece of this system is knowing how to quickly qualify who's worth your energy and who isn't, so you can spend more time with the right people. Point four, qualifying who's worth your time. This is how to quickly spot who deserves your energy and who's just wasting it. Be careful of this trap. You get a response in the DMs and you feel excited. You pour hours into conversations that stall. You realize they were never serious about buying. If you've ever been ghosted, dragged into endless chats, or stuck answering free coaching questions, it's because you didn't qualify first. And without qualifying, you'll burn out fast. So here's the twist. Here's the twist. Engagement doesn't equal interest. Just because someone comments or replies doesn't mean they're a fit. So here's my quick three-part filter. Curiosity versus seriousness. Are they asking questions thoughtfully or just chatting? Relevance. Do they fit the type of client you actually help? Three, readiness. Are they hinting at solving this now or are they exploring for someday? If they don't check all of those boxes, don't sink more time in, move on. Here are three simple questions that you can ask in a DM to filter for curiosity, relevance, and readiness without feeling pushy. When it comes to curiosity or seriousness, ask, does this sound or sounds like this is on your mind? What made you curious about this right now? Readiness or relevance. Just so I understand better, what kind of business slash role slash project are you working on right now? Readiness. If you could fix this sooner rather than later, what would make a difference for you this quarter? You want to gauge whether or not they're interested, they are the kind of client you serve, and they're going to do it now. Spot the time wasters. I've had stretches where I was juggling 10 plus DMs at once. I was excited because I was broke and I was like, look at all these people talking to me. It looked like traction, but when I applied this filter, I really only realized only a few were qualified. I doubled down on those conversations, and that's where the real results came from. Less energy, more calls booked. Your action step, use these questions the next time someone replies. You want to discover, are they curious? Is it a relevant problem you solve? And are they ready to take action? If the answer isn't yes to all three, politely move on. But don't forget them. You want to build a relationship with them later. That's what I talk about in my program. Now, when you know who's serious and who's not, the whole game changes. But you stop wasting your time and focus on people who are really worth it. But now there's one more problem to solve. How do you keep this going without burning out? Can you spend all day? You can't spend all day on LinkedIn. And if you think 1 hour a day will magically work, well, you haven't been paying attention. You must build a system that you can sustain every single week so the leads keep coming in. That's what we'll cover next. Point 5, staying consistent without burnout. Let's talk about how to stay consistent on LinkedIn without draining yourself dry. Most people quit because they've tried to post every day and they run out of ideas. They scroll endlessly hoping for inspiration, and it never strikes. They bounce between commenting, DMing, and posting with no plan. This feels exhausting. And when you're exhausted, you disappear. That's why most people give up. And that's why LinkedIn doesn't work for them. But the twist is consistency isn't about doing more. It's about having a repeatable system. I'm going to share with you my 4-part system that I do every day. Comments, 20 thoughtful comments per day. I've already scoped out who my ideal clients are following, and I comment on those posts. I create 1 post a day. I send out connection requests, 20 a day. And I DM people, 20 a day. You may have heard this advice somewhere before, but if you aren't doing it at least 4 hours a day, if you aren't completing all of it every single day, 7 days a week, then you probably aren't doing enough to reach enough people. This isn't random, it's structured. That's how you get momentum without burning out. I built this system after years of wasted effort. When I locked into this 4-hour system, I stopped overthinking. I stopped, I started tracking my actions. And within weeks, I was booking 2 to 3 warm leads on my calendar every single week. This is a snapshot for you. It works. It's the consistency. Your action step is to write down these 4 categories: comments, posts, connections, DMs. Track every day what you actually did on paper. That simple tally is what's going to keep you consistent. Now, to recap, you've seen all 5 parts of the system: creating content that sparks conversations, finding where your clients are actually active, pitching in a way that provides value, not fluff, qualifying who's worth your time, and staying consistent without burning out. If you just put these 5 pieces together, you would already be ahead of 99% of the people on LinkedIn. But here's the truth. Learning these pieces isn't the hard part. The hard part is putting them into a repeatable system that delivers results week after week. And when you do that, you follow the system step by step, you stop wasting time on what doesn't work, and start seeing real leads on your calendar. If that sounds good, drop a 1 in the chat. If you think that's possible for you, drop a 1 in the chat. I see a one. I see a couple of them. I see them coming in. Good. Now, before we run the numbers, I really want you to be clear on something. Everything I shared with you so far, these 5 points, you could absolutely take and try to piece together on your own. But like I said, I already spent 2 full years testing, tracking, tweaking every variable on LinkedIn to figure out what actually works. If you go it alone, you'll burn months, years, making the same mistakes I did. That's why I built a system. So you don't waste time reinventing what I've already cracked. This is how you collapse years of trial and error into just a few weeks of consistent leads. So let me show you what it could look like for you if you actually work this system. Now, I want you to imagine something with me. Let's say you follow the system 4 hours a day consistently, just like I showed you. And every week you've got 2 to 3 warm leads showing up on your calendar. Let's play this out. 4 weeks, 2 to 3 leads. That's 8 to 12 warm leads in a single month, right? Now imagine you close them all at 3,000 per client. That's 9,000 a week. Wow. Or it's $36,000 a month. Whoa. So here's my question. If you can invest 12,000 into this program and see the possibility of tripling your investment with 36,000 coming back in a single month, would it be worth it to you? Hmm. Now, of course, let's be real. Not even the best people in the world close 100% of their leads. Most people don't even close 80. Good closers close about 40% of their leads. So let's look at that number. If you had 12 warm leads this month and you close 40% of them, that's about 5 clients at $3,000 each. That's still 15,000 in a month. So if you're good at sales, the math still makes sense. Wouldn't you invest 12,000 to get 15,000 back? You're up 3 grand in a single month. Okay, let's go one step further. Maybe you're thinking, yeah, but I'm just not that good at sales. We aren't when we first start out. So let's imagine that you only close 1 or 2 clients an entire month. That's it. Out of 8 to 12 warm leads, you only close 1 or 2. Even then, let's do the math. 1 client at $3,000, 2 clients at $3,000. That's still $6,000 in a month. That's half your investment. And in 2 months, you'll have another 6,000, totaling $12,000, which covers your initial investment. And by month 3, well, you'll have a profit of $6,000. Boom. You've already made your investment back and then some. So even in the worst case scenario, even if you're below average, you'd still make your investment back. That's the power of having a system that keeps leads flowing in consistently. Now, let's talk about the investment. You've seen that even in the worst case scenario, this system pays for itself. So when I say this program could be easily $12,000, you understand why. But I'm not going to ask you for $12,000. I'm not even going to ask you for $6,000. I've set this program to just 3,000. You could spend years trying to figure this out on your own, or you could borrow my 2 years of testing and get working in just 6 weeks. The LinkedIn Connect framework is a 6 week live coaching experience where you will build a repeatable system that brings you 2 to 3 warm leads on your calendar every single week. But this isn't training. You'll be walking away each week with tangible tools you can actually use. There's a lot of them. Week 1, system setup and algorithm. You will get the LinkedIn algorithm playbook that explains in plain English exactly what the platform rewards. You want to know how to make sure that your ideal client sees you? This playbook will show you. A daily action tracker spreadsheet so you can measure your progress in comments, posts, connections, and DMs. Is your work paying off? A customized starter flow list with 10 active profiles handpicked by me in your space so that you can begin building traction immediately. Week 2, 30 days of strategic content. So a content planner worksheet with plug and play templates for posts, a headline swipe file with 20 hooks proven to stop the scroll, an easy post formats guide so you know which types of posts get real content, real engagement. Um, is it a poll or is it a carousel post? What would you like to post? So easy post formats guide. Week 3, structure your 4-hour workday. A daily flow template that shows you exactly how to spend your 4 hours. Priority checklist. Make sure you do this before and after posting. It's important if you want to boost the algorithm, you have to do these things before and after you post. Consistency calendar. You can print and check off each day. And week 4, connect and pitch with confidence. So this is a real key piece here. You will get my full DM and boundary scripts pack. It's going to tell you how to start a conversation naturally, how to protect your time from people who don't want your services but just want your time, how to pre-qualify and say no politely but still keep the relationship, and how to invite someone to your calendar with confidence. This right here is a game changer. This has changed my life because I'm able to speak to people and bring them on my calendar. If you want access to these scripts and the whole system, I'll drop the link below right now. Week 5, you'll maintain the system as interest builds. You will have a follow-up cadence chart so you always know when to reach back out. Here's the key. The fortune is in the follow-up. So many people forget that they have been tagged on LinkedIn, they were interested in your service, and they just didn't respond to you at that moment because they were busy. If you don't follow up with them, they miss an opportunity. You miss an opportunity to work with them too. In week 5, you also get re-engagement prompts that revive old conversations. So how we bring this back? I ask my clients, or I ask people on LinkedIn at least 4 times. Hey, do you want to work with me? Hey, do you want to work with me? Hey, do you want to work with me? And on that 4th time, believe it or not, people want to. It's that time. You have to be consistent. So you'll get a consistency checklist. It shows when you're slipping and how to correct it. And in week 6, you'll get we will refine and repeat. What you'll get is a personalized metrics board, measure what's working, what's not. You'll get a system reset guide for when life happens and you need to restart, and you'll get an evergreen content bank. Evergreen content bank. That's where you store your used posts that do really well so you can post them over and over again. I think people don't want you to know, but you can recycle your posts. Remember at the beginning where I promised you a bonus for sticking around? This is it. This is the single most powerful type of post I use to wake up my LinkedIn network, and announce it's an announcement post or a celebration post. LinkedIn loves these. They push them for you, which means people in your network will see it. And it doesn't take hours of writing or overthinking. But before you use it, let me give you three pieces of caution. Because if you throw one up and walk away, you'll waste the opportunity. First, you must set aside at least 1 full hour after you post. Because when people start commenting, you need to be there to comment back. That's how you show the algorithm that this is valuable. Keep showing it. Second, don't just drop generic thank you replies. Every single comment you make back should be engaging, open-ended, asking questions, pulling people in the conversation. That's how you turn comments into connections. Third, you need to know what kind of relationships you're trying to build ahead of time. You need to know what kind of value you can bring to other people. Maybe you're announcing an event, maybe it's someone else's event, maybe it's a milestone, but the post is just the start. The post wakes up your network. The real value comes when you are available to engage the people who respond and bring value back to them. And the surprising part of this for me when I was testing it is that sometimes people don't even comment. They will DM you directly with congratulations or way to go. That opens up a private conversation about what you're working on and the value you can offer them. When you're working on LinkedIn, remember every single comment left on your post that is not replied to is a missed opportunity to close a sale. When you use the announcement post with intention, it doesn't just get you visibility, it gets you momentum. And a momentum on LinkedIn means conversations that lead to clients. And that's what's brilliant about this. It doesn't have to be something new either. You can see this. I posted about my podcast. I started it 5 years ago, and it still started dozens of conversations that led to collaboration conversations and at least one person on my calendar for a sales call. If you don't know how to create an announcement post, don't worry about that. I've got you. You'll get a step-by-step guide emailed to you as a thank you for attending. So drop a one in the chat. Let me know. Does that sound like something you could use? I see some ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Fantastic. This is going to start a whole lot of conversations for you. Just be prepared. Now, let's take a step back and do a quick recap. So today you've seen the exact 5 steps that make LinkedIn work for me. Planning, content that actually starts conversations, finding where your ideal client already is, commenting in a way that builds visibility and authority, pitching with clarity and confidence, filtering so that you're investing energy in the right people. And, I don't just teach it, I live it. I've had 2 comments pull in over 40,000 impressions, and that was on the same LinkedIn influencer. I've had comments outperform my own posts, so I know how valuable they are and I know where to put them. I've had announcement posts from celebrations years ago spark new conversations today, just like I showed you a moment ago. And I've had DMs that led to directly booked calls. The system has put real people on my calendar week after week. So here's the really important part that I want to stress for you. You can do all of this on your own. I'm not gatekeeping, you get all the pieces. You even get the recording and you get some step-by-step guides. I'm here to support you. But I know from experience that it takes too much time to figure it out. It takes a lot of time. It took me 2 years of trial and error, sitting here every day. You don't have to spend 2 years. That's why I created this program. You can apply it immediately and get results without wasting months of guessing. If you're ready to shortcut the process, the link is in the chat. LinkedIn visibility isn't luck, it's a system. And when you use it, you don't just get leads, you get conversations, collaborations, and opportunities that you never expected. I've lived it, and I want you to live it too.